Dear delegates, fellow young people, my name is Felipe Paullier and I'm the Assistant Secretary General for Youth Affairs at the United Nations. I head the established UN Youth Office that is tasked to advance youth affairs within the United Nations across peace and security, human rights and sustainable development. Allow me to start by thanking the community of democracies and the permanent mission of the Kingdom of Morocco to the United Nations office in Geneva for inviting me to this timely conversation on youth political participation. Although more than half of the world's population is under 30 years old, according to data from the Interparliamentarian Union, only 2.8% of the members of parliaments are under 30 years old, and less than 1% of members of parliaments are young women. In some countries, the minimum age to run for some positions in public office is over 40 years old. These numbers speak for themselves. Younger generations are still largely absent from decision-making, despite the fact that they are the ones most impacted by the current political decisions or the lack of political decisions. And when young people want to take part in decision-making spaces, they face multiple cultural, structural, financial, and legislative barriers in exercising their political rights. I recognize the sense of disappointment and even the sense of mistrust that some people feel towards formal institutions and political system, as highlighted by the United Nations Secretary General report on our common agenda. Many do not feel their actions are recognized or their priorities are reflected. However, youth political apathy is a myth. Young people have very clear political priorities and very clear demands on the issues that affect them and that they care about. They might not be represented in formal political spaces, but they have been successful in pushing forward political agendas in their local communities, on the streets, and on social media. In a world that is living crisis, young people are on the front lines demanding transformative societal change on the most important issues of our time, from gender equality to reconciliation efforts and climate justice. 2024 is a pivotal year for democracy. It is the election year across all regions of the world, making this year a critical moment to ensure young people's voices are better represented in public life. Only political institutions that are inclusive and representative of the societies they serve, including diversities that pertain to gender, age, disability status, among others, will resonate with the aspirations and realities of younger generations. We need young people's innovation, drive, creativity, and more than anything, their unwavering optimism that a better world is possible for everyone. And we need to ensure that the rights of young people to participate in public life is respected and promoted. Excellencies, fellow youth, last year the Secretary General released a policy brief on meaningful youth engagement in policy-making and decision-making processes that shed light on the gaps and opportunities to strengthen youth participation. The upcoming Summit of the Future is a pivotal opportunity for member states to act upon these calls and to commit to concrete actions for the meaningful involvement of young people in policy-making and decision-making processes. Chapter 4 of the Pact for the Future, that focuses on youth and future generations, includes many of those recommendations to ensure that meaningful youth engagement becomes the norm rather than the exception. I am hopeful to notice the specific recommendation to remove the barriers that prevent meaningful and equal participation of all youth, including for young women in social, economic, political, and public affairs. Our office is committed to advocate for the implementation of those recommendations that include the development of global standards on meaningful youth engagement, the establishment of a standing United Nations Youth Town Hall, and to ensure that youth participation is effectively resourced. We need all actors to join forces and to continue this work, including in the lead of the upcoming Summit of the Future. The message is unmistakable. Young people are contributing, are deeply interested, and must have a say into the future we are shaping. The open letter to the world leaders our office launched during the ECOSOC Youth Forum is one important advocacy tool to help and make this happen. By rallying young people and allies, the letter provides an opportunity to collectively mobilize in our calls for leaders to make global policy making and decision making spaces more representative of the communities they serve. Let me finish by highlighting the efforts you are leading onto a better connecting youth, human rights, and political participation. Indeed, this is not only a matter of youth representation in politics, it is a cross-sectoral and human rights issue. Young people in all their diversity have the right to participate. Together with the UN Youth Office team, we stand ready to support you in this endeavor. I wish you fruitful conversations. Many thanks.